You have my number. Why is Bangla?
Let me thank the hospital management led by Prof here for what they are doing. I thank the government of Kaduna State for what they said they are doing to support the victims. Their response is what it should be, and I urge everybody to get involved. So I believe the right things are being done as far as regards the hospital, what the hospital management is doing. I thank all the staffs of the hospital, thank the nurses, everybody that is helping from what I saw. This is about, I think, the 16th time, and we have our 16th time. Let me first appreciate the hard work and the effort of the military in helping us to secure the country. But then we should also re-examine and ask ourselves this fundamental question about this reoccurrence where we have 16 times and we have lost almost 500 people. Why is this happening and everything? And be able to see how, as a government in particular, we can support the military to ensure that these things don't happen again. It brings me into question. I always ask at times when I listen to the present, I think it's Chief of Defense Staff, who said that their regular allocations are not, budgetary allocations, are not released to them adequately. And then one questions, what is our priority? To release money for non-essential things like SUVs or renovations and everything, or to release money to secure ourselves? Because security, everybody knows, is very, very critical to our problem today. That will take our farmers back to farm, which will tackle our main inflationary item, food. If we secure the country, that's the only way we can attract the foreign investors we are looking for all over the world. So this is critical. So for me, we need to do more and make sure that we spend our resources in the critical areas where it will be. Even improving the health sector, like this hospital. Bringing them and treating them in the hospital is one thing. Do we have a sustainable foundation to see, especially the orphan children all through? I have somebody who lost 34 family members You know, the trauma of that, especially these orphan children. We must all join hands because they are not our children. They are not our property. Everybody must join hands to see them through. I, in particular, know that if such a nation is set up, I will contribute to it as long as it exists. It is critical. It's important. We're talking about we're family. This thing that happened might have happened somewhere where we think we're not from, but we're all family. We're the same thing. And I've always said the purpose of government is to care for those in need and the poor. For me, what is more important is to ensure that it does not occur again by making sure that the right things are done by the military, everything to be more precise in what they are doing. If they're not precise, maybe take caution and be prepared. Two, to ensure that we provide the right amenities. The visit today is private and everything, but we have to do things to support them. First is that I have to make a personal little contribution of 3 million naira to support the effort of the doctors. But I have to look at the doctor. Prof told me he has 1,000 workers in this hospital because they're very critical. You can't talk about healthcare unless there's a staff, and the staff are critical. I know they are big, so I will buy them at least a bottle of Coke each. So I'm going to give Prof 1 million to be able to buy the staffs. 1,000 of them as 1,000 for Coke will be 1 million naira. So I'm going to make that contribution to him because it's important. See, no, so it's 4 million naira. And of course, there's other ancillary things. So I'll be making a donation of about 5 million naira.
Moisa. first medical leave. Even though letters were transmitted to the state that he had returned back about 4 months ago, he never stepped foot on Ondo State. That is to say, it is reasonable to say that he has abdicated his role as the governor of the state a long time ago. And governance is not a joke. You just can't wake up one day and say that, well, I don't want to go to work, I'm a ghost worker, and I'm on leave, and you never went back to office, and then you go back on another leave. You know, this is just a really, really horrible story that we're hearing from our beloved state. And where it becomes then very difficult is that I heard you now saying that he's going to transmit another letter to Ondo State so that his deputy can act in his capacity as a governor. The question you should ask is, where are they going to get the signature to write a letter to the Ondo State House of Assembly? And as I speak with you, just a few seconds before I got into the studio, I was told that the Ondo State House of Assembly has been meeting all day long, waiting for his son to provide the letter that was supposed to transmit to the House of Assembly, allowing his governor to, the deputy to start as an acting governor, and they can't even find his son. So this is how terrible governance has become in this country, and in particular in our state, that the destiny of an entire state of over 5 million people, and I'm talking about a state that's bigger than several West African countries in population, some countries around the world, left in the hands of a family to be tossing them around the way it is. And I'm very ashamed that I should say this, that I'm ashamed that those young people, or I don't know if they are old, in the Ondo State House of Assembly, who are waiting for his son to bring another forged letter to them, saying that he's going on leave when he has not resumed from the first medical leave. So this is something that is unacceptable. This is something that is ridiculous. And I don't know why anybody would accept this, especially considering that we've been through this before at the highest levels of government. Don't let us forget that there was a president in this country, Umaru Yar'Adua, who was brain dead for 5 months. 5 months. And he was running this country by proxy until the people rose up and said enough is enough. And today, we are repeating the same thing in Ondo State. And interestingly, Akeredolu was the chairman of, or the president of the Nigerian Bar Association at that time. He said clearly that what Yar'Adua was doing was not only illegal, but immoral, and asked him to resign at that time. And now he's his turn. He wants to go to his grave with Ondo State governorship, which is impossible. So I don't know why anybody will accept this. And Ondo State, for that matter, you know, this is the same Ondo State that people always brag about, that they don't accept nonsense. Now nonsense has become the governor of Ondo State. And this is completely unacceptable. And my position is not determined by the fact that I'm from the state. I would do the same for any state in the country or the country itself, because we've done this before for Nigeria and resolved the issue of, at that time, with the doctrine of necessity. And eventually the vice president became the acting president and eventually the president of the country. So I just want to make that very clear, that this is unacceptable. And it should not be acceptable to anybody. And I'm pointing my fingers at those people in Ondo State House of Assembly, that they're a disgrace to the states and Nigeria and lawmaking.
Now, Mr. Sowore, like you rightly pointed out, you know, what's happening is not new. We've had that, you know, with the late President Yar'Adua. We also saw something similar, you know, happen in Taraba State with the late Governor Dambaba Suntai. So how do we prevent this kind of scenarios going forward? Do we need more laws, or is it implementation of the existing laws, you know, that we need to do more?
I mean, there are laws already, yes, there are laws already that are meant to address this after Yar'Adua died. But, you know, this is always what I say about Nigeria, you know. You can make laws, and in a country that is lawless, laws would never work until you have people who believe in the rule of law. And sometimes the rule of law do not happen except people rise up and enforce the rule of law. That's what happened in the case of Yar'Adua. We had to rise up all over this country, men and women. And don't forget, during Yar'Adua's time, while we were rising up, there were people who were benefiting from it. There were pastors, imams in this country who went and saw Yar'Adua and said that he's doing very well. There were newspapers, media houses who were saying that, oh, they saw Yar'Adua climbing hills and he was running on treadmills. There was a newspaper that carried a ridiculous story at that time.
Now, we understand that you'll be having a resume or resign meeting in Akure on Saturday. Can you tell us more about it? We understand there's some sort of controversy over the use of a hall and that you'll be suing the DG of Akure. What more can you tell us?
Well, let me first and foremost say, accept your apologies. Never interrupt a presidential candidate just to take a governor in a press conference. We're all equal before the constitution of whatever the constitution of this country is. So, but regarding Ondo, we are going on Saturday to have a town hall meeting to discuss the situation of the state. The situation of the state is not just about the governor alone. It is about the abandonment of governance in the state. I must tell you that for the last 13 years, the southern part of Ondo State has not had a flicker of electricity. 13 years. And that's something that's important to us. They are increasing school fees in the state, just across the country. And we now have in our hands a situation in which the Ondo State governor has abandoned his duties. So we want to concretely address that. We're not satisfied, and I mean this, that they have to run to Abuja to come and take a decision on behalf of the people of Ondo State. The president of Nigeria is not the governor of Ondo State. He cannot tell the people of Ondo State what to do. And that's what I was saying before I got interrupted, that even for those in the House of Assembly who are not doing their duties as they should, we would encourage the people of Ondo State to start recalling them. They don't know what they are elected to do. And maybe it's because they were not elected anyway. Most of them were selected in these kangaroo elections that has bedeviled Nigeria over the years. So we will go ahead and have that meeting. We learned that the SSS went to the palace of the DG of Akure to force him to cancel the hall. And they wrote a very demeaning letter yesterday to me saying that I deceived them with the use of the hall. I've never deceived anybody. I paid with from my own personal account a day before a deposit of 100,000. So nobody can claim that they don't know my name in Nigeria. And I called them. I spoke with the guy who signed the press release, one Michael, that I want to speak with the KBC himself to see if he can attend our town hall meeting. And they wrote to me that they have cancelled it because of the DSS. But we are going ahead. We are going ahead in the same location, the hall, and have a town hall meeting on that day. And we have now expanded this to include every town and city in Ondo State. The only thing that can avert that town hall meeting and protest on that day is if they do what is right. And it's very simple. Just hand over power to the deputy. I don't know the deputy. I don't want to know who the deputy is. Just like I didn't know Jonathan when I was fighting against the Yaradua cabal, and I don't know him till today. I've never met Jonathan before in person, but we all fought for him. And we expect that what is right will be done in Ondo State and by the people of Ondo State and for the people of Ondo State. We deserve to have governance. You cannot go and add our governor to that of your state and tell us that it's all right. And now we can't even find members of the family be forging signatures, engaging in criminal activities, and this must be addressed urgently. So that is our position regarding Saturday, which is December 16th. We will meet in Akure, and there's going to be a lot of meetings in other places across the state. In fact, we've been informed that some people are willing to hold a protest in Abuja in front of the Ondo State liaison office. So this will spread very quickly. So, and I know that we know them, but we are not new to this. This used to happen to us under military rule as well, where we will book halls and the DSS will invade the place, or they will force their owners to close down the hall. But we'll still go ahead and do what we have to do. It's more than necessary now, and it's too late, and we can't be intimidated anyways. They know those who are involved.
Well, finally, before I let you go, and I'd like you to answer in less than a minute, whenever issues like this happen, we always witness the mysterious cabal, that we've been hearing about, but that has never been identified, at play. So I'm wondering what we can do to reform our political system so as to weaken the hold of these cabals and strengthen democracy. Very briefly, please.
I think it's an African disease. It's not only in Nigeria, there are cabals everywhere. But there's something wrong with these African leaders that they have no consideration for their constituents when they find themselves in situations like this. In other places, people resign over the embezzlement of 5,000 naira. You know, there was a guy in Chicago, governor of Illinois, who went to jail not because he did anything wrong yet, but because he was discussing on the phone that he wants to sell, you know, former President Obama's senatorial position to some people. Just the negotiation sent him to jail. So we are here, we have a governor who is not at work, he's incapacitated, and his children, I mean his son, well, his children, his wife are forging signatures. And today the DSS invited the person who raised an alarm, the whistleblower, to a meeting, and they said it's person of interest. Well, we're supposed to be talking about arrest already.
And
yes.
I have to interrupt you because we've come to the end of the show, and we really do not have any proof
Social media was awash with reactions following the sudden decision of 27 lawmakers of the Rivers House of Assembly who decamped from the People's Democratic Party to join the All Progressives Congress. The lawmakers, said to be loyal to the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Wike, held a plenary session where the decision was taken amid tight security at the entrance of the Assembly complex in Port Harcourt, the Rivers State capital. Well, I told you this is Wike's new song. I told you it was On Your Monday, Bola, and now Jagabano. That video that we played last week showed us that Wike is in charge of the new song, while the defection of the lawmakers, according to reports, is said to be connected to the rift between the governor of Rivers State, Fubara, and Wike over control of the political structure in the state, while users on social media reacting to the lawmakers' defection pulled up an old video where Wike condemned defectors in political parties.
Everybody will have to be careful. You give somebody an umbrella, the next day he defects. EFCC will come, he said, no, let me join them, so EFCC will not be against you. You carry the vote of another party, and you join another party. Can you transfer vote? You work hard for somebody to win the election. Tomorrow the person say, no, I have defected. If you are defecting, leave the seat. If you know it's easy.
Wike is trending. Another old video showing Wike condemning the All Progressives Congress over failed leadership also made the rounds on social media. Well, let's take a look before we take some reactions.
When I hear people declaring for APC, saying that they want to continue the good job of Mr. President, the good job of people dying every day, the good job of Naira falling every day, I feel so ashamed that we have gotten to the level where sacrificing, people will come and say, look, I want to continue the good job of Buhari. What is the good job of Buhari? Of hunger is a good job. Of poverty is a good job. Of insecurity is a good job. Of the economy falling is a good job. It's such a shameful thing. I can't believe that somebody will come out in today's Nigeria and say, I want to continue where Mr. Buhari has stopped. May God forgive. May God never allow that people to continue.
Well, God is listening. Well, let's take some tweets. Let's take this tweet from Oloye, who wrote, Wike's many lies. 1, I will not be minister. I will not support whoever emerges at the PDP presidential elections. I can never leave malaria and join APC cancer. I will never disturb Sim when I hand over power to him. You cannot decamp with another party's votes. And many, many more fire. Laughing. Go ahead.
I mean, which installation is this?
The only thing is now, we don't, when is Wike going to decamp? This is the question now. I don't know. You don't know what party PDP. Okay.
At this rate, he has done more than possible that you already know is with the APC.
Okay.
I mean, there was a man that worked against his party. When he was governor of the state, the party couldn't hold a rally, presidential rally in his state. So how else would you want? But, he likes to be very, amorphous or mercurial is the word, So he's a member of the PDP, but serving in an APC government. The same APC he claimed he will never have anything because it's cancer. Hope he knows that Bola Tinubu's presidency said he will continue Buhari's legacy.
That's what he said.
So he's continuing that legacy of cancer now, and he's enjoying it. And that's the thing about politicians. When he favors them, they'll say something. When he's against them, they'll say otherwise. So he's continuing that legacy. He's become a minister now, and he's destroying his own party, the PDP. But I think what is happening here is the fact that he knows that the game is tight for him now. He's no longer governor of the state. He doesn't wield a lot of that power, executive power in the state. And probably President Tinubu would like to work with Fubara. So as he discovered that, he says, what can I do? So probably he went to get his lawmakers to defect to the APC so that he will show loyalty to President Tinubu and try to block any attempt at doing that. But let us see. This game will be incumbent on what Mr. Fubara, because this is another Game of Thrones. Yeah. This game will be incumbent on the political understanding of Mr. Fubara and what game he will play in return. And in the coming days, you will see action, because there's going to be a move, I probably will predict, on impeachment again, and let's see how it will pan out. But the part of this game that is not clear is the fact that Mr. Fubara is not aligning with some of the people in the PDP that are key stakeholders. And I've not seen that alignment, you know, the likes of the Lee Meabas of this world and a couple of other people. We've not seen that alignment, you know, among him and the great PDP folk. But probably if that alignment happens, then at first they will start by ensuring that they push the case in court. Probably these lawmakers will be able to, some of them will be able to lose theirs if they can prove it in court, and INEC can organize by-election. This might be the first step in him asserting. But also, you can't take it away from Wike. Wike, that could pull such a stunt in a state that he's no longer there, wields a lot of political power, and that's when a lot of people say he's valueless. No,
that's exactly what I said.
He's been able to turn everybody around,
absolutely,
you know, on their heels, and that's why everybody is careful with him.
Yeah.
Look at leading up to the election, he kept on decimating the PDP, and PDP could not say anything. Yeah. It was 4-0. That's how the PDP came out to say that, oh, Wike and his cohort of 5 governors will not do anything. But they disturbed the chances of the PDP. You can't take that away.
Yeah.
So let's see the political gravitas at which Fubara is going to fight. But Fubara is in a big cul-de-sac. Another scenario I'd like to posit will be endgame scenario, where Fubara will likely come out to tell us why the EFCC was chasing him when he was governor, when he was part of the Wike cabinet. What does he have to do? But I pretty much doubt that Fubara will go to that extent, because in that case, everybody will go down.
Absolutely.
So I pretty much doubt that scenario. But they will fight back. I've started to take polls online of who will win this Wike and Fubara fight. A lot of people.
Are you doing that?
Oh, yes. So okay. I started yesterday night. This is Game of Thrones. So based on my Twitter, about 74% is saying Fubara will win. Okay. 23% is saying Wike. But based on my deep understanding of politics, maybe if they would teach Fubara how to fight Wike, Wike has a better grasp of this. Well, right. He's played this game before with Amechi, and he knows he has a better grasp, and he has the arsenal of money. But Fubara might spring a surprise. But it's a fight for survival. It's just like your motor park garage fight. If Fubara wins this fight, he's the new king in town. Right. That's right. It's like the slum king that is currently showing on TV fights.
All right. Ayo, right now, you know, the PDP is calling for fresh elections in Rivers State, saying that the 27 seats have become vacant. Really quickly, so
I must say that I'm quite disappointed at the PDP's response. Very weak, very tempered.
Quickly, so
I must say I'm quite disappointed at the PDP's response. Very weak, very tempered. what we had mentioned, I believe that this is even beyond the Wike Fubara fight. I think it's Wike presenting an open challenge to the PDP, which he has consistently done since the G5, creation of G5, and his direct opposition of his own party. Now he's in Abuja, and he is flaunting his alliance with President Tinubu and, of course, the APC. And so the response from Mr. Debo Ologunagba, one of the spokespersons of the PDP, is quite interesting. Why? So the big question, what has Mr. Nyesom Wike got on PDP that has made them cower? In fact, what I believe this action has done is to expose the weakness of the PDP. And so it begs the question as to, are they still the main opposition party? Has that power shifted from them to other parties like the Labour Party, NNPP, and the likes? And then what is going on in PDP? Is it still standing as a party? So I believe that these actions, with the PDP's response that's almost next to just accepting, former Governor Wike's atrocity, in their own anti-party activities again and again. And the more he does it, the worse it becomes. 27 lawmakers in one day. It's not just an affront to PDP in the River State. It's an affront to PDP as a whole across Nigeria. Now, the lawyers earlier on explained the position of them, saying that it was vacant. Section 109, subsection 1G. We've quoted that a number of times of the 1999 Constitution about the fact that if you defect from a party, you vacate that seat. But there's a clause which Rufai had brought out, which is that if the party is said to be divisive, or there's division in the party, then they might have a case to answer. So let's see how that would play out in court.
The saga continues.
Oh, yeah,
well, all right, we'll take another story. To cushion the impact of the fuel subsidy removal, the vehicles are made up of 57 units of gas-powered electric-powered taxi cabs. Tinubu thanked the governor for his proactiveness, stating that his administration will take advantage of his foresight at the sub-national level to start an assembly plan in order to bring economic prosperity. Amazing. I always praise Babagana Zulum. I mean, he's doing so well.
Yes.
And when they do well, we praise them.
Yes.
Well, despite the recent setback of the bombing incident in Kaduna State, the Nigerian military has remained relentless in its quest to hunt and eliminate
Today we are here to show our solidarity to the governor of River State. Yes. My name is Dr. Legbosin Yamabana. I'm the President General of Ogoni Youth Federation. Together with me is the chairman of the Joy Youth Council, Eastern Zone. Together with leadership from the 7 local government areas that makes up River Southeast Senatorial District. That is the senatorial district of the governor. And we are here in solidarity in our numbers to jointly say that we are standing by the governor. Yes. So jointly say that the mandate that has been freely given to the governor cannot be usurped. To jointly say that we are not just coming here for the coming sake, but we are here to ensure that no detractor distracts the governor from implementing his promises to Rivers people. The simple promise agenda of the governor must be allowed to be implemented. Yes. We are also here in one accord to say that if there is no SIM, there will be no Rivers State. Yes, in these next 4 years. Yes. We are here to say no to any unholy and unscrupulous plan to unlawfully impeach the governor. Yes. We say that cannot work. Of course. After this time, we shall go and occupy the Rivers State House of Assembly. Yes. We are also here to send a message. To all the members of Assembly that has defected from the People's Democratic Party. We are telling them that in line with Section 109 of the Nigerian Constitution, their seats are vacant. Yes. And we are hereby calling on the Right Honorable Speaker, Right Honorable Eddie Neye, to immediately declare those seats vacant. We are also calling on the acting party chairman in Rivers State, acting PDP party chairman, to immediately rescue himself by declaring those seats also vacant. Yes. Because we, the Rivers youths, we are peaceful and we are following the Constitution of the Federal Republic. We will continue to demand our rights. And our right is the one we have given to the governor, for him to say peacefully and rule the state to the betterment of all and sundry. And we are here in one accord. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Let me put record straight today. 35 or 37 members of House of Assembly can never be bigger than the Governor, can never be bigger than Rivers people. In 2015, 2019, we paid with our life to protect the interests of the former governor of Rivers State. We know what happened in Rivers State. I was stood firm to support the former governor. My name is Samuel Tonyekpoko, the chairman of IOS in Rivers State. We have supported all of our brothers to produce Rivers State, to produce governor of Rivers State. We expect in return that they to support the jobs in Rivers State. Similarly, Fubara has excess integrity to govern Rivers State. He has been tested and trusted. He is not a questionable character. Some few persons cannot sit in their covenant and decide the fate of Rivers people. This is the first election youth came together, irrespective of political party, to give massive votes to this particular governor of Rivers State. It breaks our hearts that because of petty sentiments, some few persons want to decide the fate of Rivers people. We say no. We say no to illegal impeachment. No to illegal intimidation. No to barbaric impeachment. The impeachment is null and void from today. For as of the party member that defended another party, we have the law to checkmate them. Let the law take its full course. We want to appeal to the conscience of the former governor of Rivers State. We are not waging war on anybody. These are the same youth that stood by him, that protected his vote with their body, their lives, and everything. We are appealing to him to shift the sword. Because the wrath of the youth is... If this matter is not being resolved, the youth will occupy Rivers State. We control these states. We have taken our life, we have taken our destiny to our hand to say, we don't want SIM to be disturbed in Rivers State. So that tomorrow, SIM will not come and give us excuse. He just took over power. Let SIM not give us excuse. SIM should be allowed to govern Rivers State for 8 years. It is unnegotiable. Yes. 8 years is sacrosanct. Yes. Constitutionally, after 8 years, there's a tradition in Rivers State that after 8 years, you take a bow and go. The former governor served for 8 years, no inch. He has taken a bow and leave. Let SIM govern for 8 years and take a bow and leave. We are here to tell the governor too, that's the same people we are mentioning, the same people we are hearing and they became powerful when they were in Brick House. Honorable Siminalayi Fubara, the governor of Rivers State, we are strongly behind you. You are the governor of Rivers State. No man can play God on this earth. Power belongs to God. No man can play God. It is seasonal. It is SIM turn to govern Rivers State. Let SIM govern Rivers State and give us dividends of democracy. So that SIM, for all the promises he made to us, so that he will have that privilege to give us those promises. The youth are saying, No SIM,
No network.
no SIM,
No Rivers State.
every assembly member that are defected under party, we move a motion that your seats should be declared vacant. Not so we talk. Not so we talk. Thank you very much.
Own house. On behalf of the Governor of Rivers State, Sir Simle Fubara, GSSRS, I want to honestly plead that you should not be angry by his absence here today. He would have loved nothing other than to come here and address you in person. But unfortunately, due to other exigencies, other commitment he is not readily available here to address you. I can assure you there's nothing he would have loved than to come here today and to share this wonderful moment with you, your presence, your solidarity, your support with him. Please, that is not here should not be seen for any reason. That is not here, is there with you in spirit. He has asked me to come here and address you, to come here and felicitate with you people that have come to say that he is the governor. He wants to hear to say clearly that the support that the youth has continued to give to him, he will not take for granted. You have been with him all along, and up till now, you are still with him. He has asked me to ask you that you should continue in that stride. Your commitment to his administration, your support to him should not be wavering. His administration is dedicated to ensuring that the development of Rivers State is carried on from the level we have now into another level. So whatever it is that relates to the interests of the youth, anything that relates to the interests of the youth also touches him. He will not take the interests of the youth for granted. He will not take the interests of Rivers State for granted. The development of Rivers State is paramount in his agenda. For whatever is happening now, by the special grace of God and by your collective support, peace will be restored. Peace will be restored, and his leadership will come to pass, and his leadership will deliver the dividends of democracy. All the requests you have made here, all your petitions here, be rest assured, once he is available, I will table those petitions to him. He will look at them, and probably I will also enjoin him. I'm sure by the time he is available, he will call few of your leaders here into a private meeting where you will discuss with him. I want to thank all of you, especially a peaceful disposition. This morning you've been here, you came in company of security agencies, meaning that your movement this morning was legally organized. You've came here legally this morning, there was no disturbance. We want to enjoy you that as you've come, also go back home peaceful. When he comes back and when he's available, he will definitely liaise with some of your leaders and see you and continue this discussion. I want to thank you and pray that God will bless each and every one of us as we go back home. Thank you and God bless all of you.
has set some ball rolling, and everybody's taking side and grandstanding. We're going to explore all of that today on the show. But first, let's bring you the story that the High Court sitting in Port Harcourt has restrained Mr. Martins Amewule and Dumle Mao from interfering with the activities of the Edison Ehie leadership. The ex-parte order, which was issued by Justice Monima Danagogo in Port Harcourt, the River State capital, warned against the use of thugs and police officers to forcefully gain access into the premises of the House of Assembly. The judge further restrained the defendants and their agents from disrupting and interfering with the exercise of their duties. However, in their reaction, the Rivers APC caretaker chairman, Mr. Tony Okocha, disagreed with the judgment, accusing the judge of bias and threatening to report the judge to the NJC. He explained that it is a ploy to allow the governor to present the budget to 4 lawmakers, and that will be resisted. So that is coming from Rivers State. We'll continue to follow up and see how things play out. We've been joined now on the program by the PDP National Publicity Secretary, Mr. Debo Ologunagba, who will be weighing in on the issue. We've been trying to get the PDP side of this conversation. Mr. Ologunagba, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you very much, Jeffrey, for having me. Good evening.
Because it's been a hard one to get your side to speak, apart from the statement that you released yesterday. So just a quick 30 seconds overview before I jump into some things I want to find out from you. What do you make of what's going on in your party in Rivers State?
Thank you very much. I think I need to make a correction to the effect that it's been a long while to hear from us. The statement that we issued yesterday is actually a statement from us, and it's from us. That's hearing from us. To set the record straight as it is, and the fact that, yes, those 27 former lawmakers who defected to the All Progressive Congress have vacated their seat, and by the provision of Section 1091G specifically, they have lost their seat, and they are no longer members of the Rivers State House of Assembly. That was clearly stated. And so to say it is long in coming, I don't know how long you want it to be, but of course there was a statement yesterday that clearly stated our position as a party. And of course other things will begin to flow arising from that.
All right, that point is noted. We're talking about coming literally live on air for us to have the conversation, but that's besides the issue. Now, the PDP struggled and failed to, in some people's view, to unite before and after the election. These things have actually festered into what is considered this mass defection. And still, besides declaring their seats vacant, I mean the people that have now moved to the APC, what other potent thing is the PDP prepared to do to make a stand against what has happened?
Yeah, okay, I think some of these things, we shouldn't lose the fact about how politics should be played. And the fact that there must be integrity in politics. And when we get to a point where people begin to disregard the will of the people, that should give us a cause for concern. Now, we are a party of law and order and of constitution. We rely on our own constitution and, of course, the Nigerian constitution, the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as amended. Now, Section 1091G stated clearly that in the event that a member of a House of Assembly defects to another party, he automatically loses his seat. And this has been tested in the court. In 2015, the Supreme Court clarified this. In the case of Ifedayo, Abigunde, and Ondo State House of Assembly, and others, it was clearly stated that once you defect, provided there's no division or faction in your party, then you lose that seat. In March 2022, in the Cross River State case, Justice Taiwo made it very clear, and this is what is sobering. He says in one of the statements in the judgment that he hopes that one day it will be the issue that as soon as you leave the platform that you sought election, Because under our laws, there are no independent candidates. You can only be a member of a House of Assembly or other elected position in the legislature when you are sponsored by a political party. PDP sponsored the former lawmakers in Rivers State, 27 of them, and haven't left that.
Mr. Logo, if I may button, so that we can pack in as much as possible. The premise of their defection, they said it time and again. We listened to the Martins Amewule faction saying, look, there is a disagreement over who the national secretary of your party is. They accused the governor of abuse of power, intimidation. They reeled out all kinds of, a couple of accusations as a reason for the division in the party, because there's a proviso, even in section 109(1)(g), beneath that says that if there's a division in the party, that could be a premise to leave the party. So they cited the fact that there's a clear division in your... Hold on, just a minute, Mr. Deborah. The fact, I started by saying that, look, before the election, there were issues in your party. After the election, there were still issues in your party. And they are basing this uniquely to themselves in terms of what's going on at the national level. They cited the national secretary. You may be able to clear that. And of course, what is going on within the party in Rivers State as a basis, which there's a proviso for within 109(1)(g) for them to excuse themselves within the party.
Well, I thank you, Jeffrey. But again, like I said, when people want to be mischievous, they can hide under anything. But the good thing is that the Constitution is so clear. And like I said earlier, in 2015, that provision, that proviso to that constitutional provision of section 109(1)(g) had been made. And the proviso is when there is a faction or division in the party. Now, PDP is one. PDP has one chairman. PDP has one national working committee. How they come about and saying that there's a division in the party, I don't know. But again, I'm sure by now, I know by now that the 27 members will have known that this is actually a futility, that they've lost their position. The Supreme Court had ruled, and it is clear. In any event, our party has taken action. And we're taking actions relating to that so that that declaration of their seat being vacant will be permanent. There are series of actions that will be taken. But it is completely fraudulent. It is completely irresponsible for them to say there's a division in the party. Yes, as a political party, just like any other human organization, we have challenges because politics is about interest, about individual, depending from cultural, from personal views. But in a party, you come together and try to reconcile that. That we're doing. The fact that there are no noise in other political parties does not mean they don't have issues that they can talk about. We know we accepted that, but we're working on that, and it's a work in progress where you have human interest involved. But it's completely fraudulent. Sorry, can I finish? It is completely fraudulent. It is untrue. But the good part of it is the fact that the Supreme Court had ruled on that. The court in Cross River State in March 2022 echoed that. And we'll see how this goes. But we do know that no crisis in our party, no division in the party, no faction in the party. The PDP is one, and they have gone on a voyage that they know by now, they know it was the wrong move to make, irrespective of what the constitution might be.
Mr. Logo, I wanted to bring to your notice that even in section 109, if you look at subsection 2, given the arithmetic of what is going on, 27 as against 4, at the end of the day, the input of the speaker is required for some of these declaring seat vacant is necessary. And now there's a division. They have greater majority in terms of numbers, and these other people are 4. And so if the speaker has to be involved according to section 109 subsection 2 of the Constitution, what magic is meant to happen next for the seat to be declared vacant?
It's not an issue of magic.
But I'm talking about what the Constitution says.
A court order. Absolutely, and I'm trying to respond to that. in a precursor in the opening, you mentioned the fact that there's a court order that says that the 27 former lawmakers should not interfere in the activity of the assembly. There's a speaker. The speaker has a duty to declare those seats vacant pursuant to the provisions of the Constitution.
Mr. Debo, who is the speaker? Who is the speaker?
Mr. Ahie, you said that yourself. The court order that confirmed that. Mr. Ahie, or Honorable Ahie, is the speaker, and he has all the duties and all the powers of that office to declare the 27 vacant seat vacant formally. And we are asking, and we actually asked INEC to conduct elections to fill those vacancies. In any event, when you talk about presenting budget, in that same constitution, there are provisions for the governor to continue to execute within, if the budget is already within a period, he has a window to continue to carry on and manage the economy of the state in line with the previous year budget. So there's no problem here. All the speaker needs to do right now is to go ahead, declare those seats vacant, continue the work of the state, and then but let me close this up.
Look,
I think
just 10 seconds, just 10 seconds, please.
Is that each time, yes, thank you. What is important here is that the sadness about people in position where people that voted for them, in their view, is unimportant. And I think that should be a food for thought as we develop in this democracy.
Thank you so much, Mr. Debo. That's a very good place to learn. Mr. Debo Ologwamba, the
It's fine. We'll make do with what we have as long as we can hear your voice. But I was going to ask you, because we've seen the reaction from your party, but this basically has to do with you and your 26 other colleagues. What's your reaction to this order by the court?
First, I need to correct an impression. You know, you guys keep making the same mistake. We need to begin to understand the difference between an interim order and a court judgment. An interim order is not substantive. So somebody goes to court and prays the court to do this, do this, do this. Tell me, make me a woman. I don't want to be a man anymore. Or make my friend a woman. And the court says, look, we need to hear both sides first before we take a decision. But for now, I will honor 1, 2, 3 of what you've asked for. That doesn't make you a man, or that doesn't make you a woman. So anybody saying anybody has been, because you guys, I don't, sometimes where you guys report stuff, I don't understand. No court affirmed anyone as speaker. A court only granted an interim order, which elapses, which has an expiry date, usually days. And so there's no issue at all. But for on the issue, before I delve into the court judgment and then what I call a mess, that's a lot of people will say that our judiciary has been turned into, but I don't toe that line. It's not the judiciary. It's a few people that have made themselves malevolent instruments for the destruction of the intendments and prophecies of the Constitution. And you cannot blame the entire judiciary for that. If some elements decide to, I choose my words very carefully.
What the court is saying basically is maintain a status quo, which means that Edison Ehie remains speaker for the next 9 days, which is when the next hearing will be. Are you and your group going to comply with this order and suspend all activities pending the next hearing?
Yeah. Now listen, what is the end game? Before I go into the issue, what is the end game? The end game is that the governor of Rivers State wants to present his budget to 4 suspended members of the Rivers State House of Assembly. That's the end game, and let's even begin from there. And now he's been enabled by this very, very embarrassing court order. What are the issues? There was an ex parte order that expired on the 30th of October. The same parties went to another court of corresponding jurisdiction, of coordinate jurisdiction, 2 equal courts. The same parties, the same material facts, the same prayers were denied by that court. And then eventually, both parties met in court and argued the matter. They argued the matter and then the court adjourned. That means the substantive matter has been heard. Having had the order expiring, now you've heard a substantive matter. The matter has been adjourned, so the matter is on. Now you jump to another court of coordinate jurisdiction, the same parties, the same prayers, the same material facts, and a judge that usually I used to respect, learned, well-read. So if it was a quiet judge, I would say, okay, maybe that one doesn't know the law. A very respected judge of the courts, a Nigerian judge, a Rivers judge who knows the situation at hand, who has been watching the news, who knows that 27 members on the House of Assembly are on one side and 4 members are on the other side, who knows that just yesterday, 27 members defected from the People's Democratic Party to the APC, and then we have just 4 members left. Entertained their request, granted an order. Look, I'm not a lawyer, but I know that before a judge gives a judgment, there's something called, I think, the subjective rule or so, which says that the judge considers...
I just want to abort him because you haven't answered the question I asked earlier. If you are going to comply with this particular ruling and suspend all legislative business for the next 9 days.
It's not a ruling. It's not a ruling. It's an interim order. We are law-abiding people. Every time I speak to you, I tell you that whatever we do in the 10th Assembly, we work within the confines of the dictates and prescriptions and the prophecies of the Constitution of the Federal Government of Nigeria as altered. And so if a judge has said so, the court has spoken, no matter how right or no matter how wrong. The court has spoken, the court has spoken. We're not rascals. We will listen. Our lawyers are working to vacate that order. It's not an issue. We are exploring our options. Section 153, subsection 1 of the 1999 Constitution as altered has given us the option that we would have needed. The section that sets up the NJC and gives the executive the power to appoint and exercise disciplinary control over judicial officers. We have that option. We are drafting our petition within the next 24, 48 hours. We're going to petition that judge that is.
And what are your requests, Mr. Judge, in your petition?
You like breaking news a lot, so wait for this breaking news. That judge must be penalized as prescribed by the Constitution in Section 153, subsection 1, that establishes the National Judicial Council. We'll do our part. We're not calling with anybody. In fact, I'm excited because I want to see that glorious day that the governor will present his budget to if 4 members, suspended assembly members, that all of Nigerians should know today that are 4. There was this argument before. Is it not? Today we know that they are just 4. I want to see that day. In fact, my Mr. Speaker, Matt Amewule called me this evening, and he was laughing and laughing. I said, you are laughing at a very important issue. He said that what options does he have? He has never seen this kind of thing in his life. And before I knew it, I started laughing too. So it is an insult on the collective sensibilities of Nigerians. An insult on the judiciary. People should stop blaming the judiciary for everything. No. There are corrupt elements in the judiciary that are giving them the bad name. And it is time that we begin to question the character of such people. They must begin to face the justice. We don't have issues. We're okay. A few days, about nine days or so, and all of this will be put aside. The end game, I say again, the end game is that the governor wants to present.
All right. So basically, from what I can glean from
here.
what you are saying, Mr. George, is that one of the things you're requesting for is for the judge to be penalized.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I want to say thank you, God, for everything. Special thanks goes to Mr. Emmanuel Amunike. Without him, I don't think I will be standing in front of you guys. I don't think I'll be standing in front of you guys holding one of the most prestigious awards in world football. It's a dream come true for me. I want to thank everyone that have seen me through life's journey in achieving my dreams, in achieving my goals. I appreciate Nigerians for their support. I appreciate Africa for putting me on the map, for encouraging me, for defending me, regardless of my shortcomings. Thank you so much. I also thank Emmanuel Adebayo for his encouragement. Solomon Kalu, I appreciate you. Every African legend that I've looked up to while growing up, that have inspired me. Can't forget DJ Drogba, my role model. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. I appreciate you all. God bless you all. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Victor Osimhen. Please, Victor.
Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, that's Nyesom Wike, have announced their defection from the People's Democratic Party, PDP, to the All Progressives Congress, APC. Now, the lawmakers loyal to Wike, the immediate past governor of Rivers State, announced their defection on the floor of the House during a sitting on Monday. Our rights correspondent Andy Omano is standing by to give us an update on the political crisis in the state. Good afternoon, Andy. A very warm welcome to Newsday. Quite a shocker for many to wake up to today. Can you give us a bit of insight into the events that have transpired in Rivers State this morning?
Oh, thank you so much. Good afternoon. Rivers State has been in the news lately precisely since October the 30th this year, when this same group of lawmakers loyal to the immediate governor of the state and the current minister of the Federal Capital Territory allegedly planned to impeach the sitting governor in the person of Saint Fubara. And since then, the political crisis in Rivers State has happened in what we call a theater in an episodic manner. And this morning, we woke up to the news that 27 of them, in the wee hour of this morning, find their way into the hallowed chambers of the State House of Assembly complex. You will also recall that that same hallowed chamber of the complex was set ablaze a couple of weeks back, and they sat this morning for less than 15 minutes, where all 27 of them decided to decamp to the opposition All Progressives Congress. I must quickly add that this is a House of Assembly that has 32 lawmakers. And so if you take 27 from 32, what you have left is 5. And even that 5, the entire 5 are not following the incumbent governor. It is only 4 of them that are following, because 1 is a Labour Party legislator. And so that is the situation we have at hand right now. And it will be very, very appropriate to say that there is an uneasy political calm in Port Harcourt, the Rivers State capital, as we speak, because everybody, especially those who don't have their finger in the political happening in this state, are watching to see what is going to happen next. As I speak with you, the governor is having a state executive council meeting in Government House, and I want to believe that this defection by the 27 lawmakers that used to be in PDP to the APC will be on the top agenda of that discussion. And so that is where we are now. We are trying to track who and who we needed to talk with. First of all, we want to meet with the acting chairman of the PDP to find out his perspective about what has transpired today. What is going to be in it for his party? Is he going to move like the 27 lawmakers who have all of a sudden jumped ship to the opposition political party, the APC? And so this is where we are. And I want to believe that between now and evening, a lot of political talks are wagging already. A lot of permutations are on. People are saying a lot is going to happen between now and weekend. But we are waiting to see how the political pendulum will swing. With the movement of these 27 lawmakers having moved, are we going to have other movement of other political heavyweights in the PDP in Rivers State to probably the opposition or Progressives Congress? The days ahead will surely let us know that. Over.
Indeed. Thank you so much, Andy. Now, you did mention that the governor is currently in a meeting. Of course, it might have plenty to do with this defection. But do you get a sense that he's currently uneasy based on this? Because we did have, I believe it was the Commissioner for Information last week, saying that he was unperturbed with what was going on in the state. Do you think he's starting to feel the heat as a result of this?
Okay, thank you so much. For me, I would want to say that, yes, even if the governor has been unperturbed about the political situation in the state, what has happened today is likely going to give him some deep introspection. He needs to do that, because if you have a 32 legislators in the House of Assembly where you are the governor. Remember, there are three arms of governor: the executive, the judiciary, and the legislature. And if 27 of the lawmakers have moved to the opposition political party, it's just likely that they have something politically up their sleeve. And I don't think the governor should still be unperturbed at this stage that we have gotten to in the political development of Rivers State. He must be conscious of what he wants to do, because if he has not killed his lions before now, I think this is the time to do it, because the lawmakers those who have moved today seems not to be backing down, because people are already very worried that how come that there is a court injunction saying no lawmaker should move into the hallowed chambers of the State House of Assembly to conduct any proceeding. We've had it. Today's zone makes it the second or the third time that this group of legislators have had an easy access into the hallowed chambers of the House of Assembly complex. And so I want to believe that the governor should, I don't want to say he should wake up. The governor should be worried at this point now, because like they say in Nigeria politics, when situations are the way they are here now, anything is very possible. But of course, they say when two elephants fight, it is the grass that suffers, because since this political crisis started, there has been no legislative business at all. Bills have not been passed, except one or two of them that were haphazardly passed, debated in the floor, and it was not by the entire House as it were. And so that is where we are. The governor, I want to believe, will want to start thinking of what to do next, even as the 27 opposition legislators are also plotting what they intend to do next in this political chess game.
Right, Andy, I know we just have some very few moments remaining, but very quickly, of course, what everybody is thinking and not saying is the big I word, which is impeachment. Just giving your sense of what's happening on the ground, are there still any windows for Governor Fubara to escape this?
Well, I think if I get you correctly, when political situations turn the way they are now, right now, in any state, especially since the birth of this current republic, 1999, what many will be thinking about, even those who are political, is that there is going to be a likely impeachment. But nobody can put a finger on that right now. But if you ask me, that is what seems to be the position of one or two analysts who are monitoring developments here. But is that going to happen? Is that not going to happen? The next couple of days would give us answer to that question. But as we speak, like I mentioned in passing, there are already insinuations that other political heavyweights in the People's Democratic Party in Rivers State are likely also going to defect in the next couple of days. And we are just waiting to see what will happen. Is there going to be a likely impeachment? It is possible. It is not possible. It is possible if these lawmakers, 27 of them, decide to run the entire political hog. It is not possible if the governor on his part is able to throw what I refer to as political carrot and political carrot to these lawmakers who are bent on running the way they want to run in order to have a full control of what is going on politically in Rivers State.
All right, correspondent Andy Manu live from Rivers State capital, Port Harcourt. Thank you so much for your update and analysis. We appreciate your time here on
It is better for the court to make a pronouncement. So everybody will have to be careful. You give somebody an umbrella, the next day he defects. EFCC will come, he said, no, let me join them, so EFCC will not be against you. You carry the vote of another party, and you join another party. Can you transfer vote? You work hard for somebody to win the election. Tomorrow the person says, no, I have defected. If you are defecting, leave the seat. If you know it is easy. And this will checkmate most of the political harlots who will never sit one place, looking for excuses here and there. I was insulted by my ward chairman. I'm leaving the party. Look at it. They did not allow me to bring a councillor. I'm leaving the party. Because you believe that they cannot take your seat. This is a clear example. To strengthen democracy, it is better for the court to make a pronouncement. So everybody will have to be careful. You give somebody an umbrella, the next day he defects. EFCC will come, he said, no, let me join them, so EFCC will not be against you. You carry the vote of another party, and you join another party. Can you transfer vote? You work hard for somebody to win the election. Tomorrow the person says, no, I have defected. If you are defecting, leave the seat. If you know it is easy. And this will checkmate most of the political harlots who will never sit one place, looking for excuses here and there. I was insulted by my ward chairman. I'm leaving the party. Look at it. They did not allow me to bring a councillor. I'm leaving the party. Because you believe that they cannot take your seat. This is a clear example. To start
before the surprise undemocratic impeachment efforts of 30th October 2023 by a section of our legislative arm against you, the People's Governor. This undemocratic act is and was highly resisted and condemned by the Rivers electorate, and we are in absolute solidarity with you. You kept asking, what offense have I committed to warrant my impeachment? And to this day, no answer has been provided. And we are still waiting endlessly because you haven't committed any offense that warrants impeachment. Your recent statement that you can never be intimidated, nor any level of sabotage can make you surrender your mandate is the hallmark of an astute statesman and leader, in our opinion, that is committed to the good development and governance of his people. We also encourage and congratulate our brother, son, your reliable and indefatigable ally, Right Honorable Edison Ogelenya, the Speaker, Rivers State House of Assembly, as a true son of Arashi that we know very well. You can be rest assured that he will assist you, the People's Governor, to steer the ship of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's Renew Hope agenda in our state peacefully. We also condemn in its entirety the attempted attack on the life of our son, Right Honorable Edison Ogelenya, at his residence on the 19th of November 2023. We are tempted to believe that the reason for this attack was because of his support for you.
I was face of APC in Ahuda West. But today, by the grace of God, by the will of God, by the directive of the Holy Spirit, we, APC, and here present is 10 APC ward chairmen. We also have here a considerable number of LGA ward ESCOs. I also have, just yesterday evening, about 10 leaders whispered to me that they want to join us. We are here to support the God-chosen governor of Rivers State, Fubara.
God has placed Fubara there, and that is why we are here. We are going to support him as the governor of Rivers State to deliver that mandate that God has given to him for the people of Rivers State, and specifically for the people of Ahuda West, in Jesus' name. Second factor, I'm not going to take your time, but I must express why we are here, why we made the decision we made to support Sim Fubara, to stand by him. Secondly, Sim Fubara had decided to endorse an elected son as the Speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly. Right Honorable Edison here
to express the gratitude of our Speaker, Right Honorable Edison here, distinguished service star of Rivers State. His gratitude that over 5,000 decampees from various political parties are now here to show support for the God-choosing governor of Rivers State. Ama Opus Senebo, Sir Simini Alai Joseph Fubara, Grand Service Star of Rivers State.
the Speaker of the 10th Assembly, Right Honorable Edison Ehe, he has said I should greet you and tell you that at the appropriate time he will come to speak to his maternal people. He is Ekono Ahuda West.
All right, so let me start by asking, how did you receive today's defection of 27 out of the 32 lawmakers in the River State House of Assembly, dumping the PDP for the APC?
For me, it came as a rude shock, but not entirely unexpected. Why it was shocking was because I thought with the president's intervention some weeks back, the two warring factions will have sheathed their sword and allow peace to reign. But as one of the earlier commentators said on ground in Port Harcourt, the fact that APC last week or thereabouts dissolved its River State State Working Committee was a prelude to what we saw today, in which case they knew, they had it in the offing that these lawmakers were going to come. And so they've dissolved the State Executive Council and believing that these people will be accommodated in the new executive that will be put in place in days to come. But this is just going to allow the crisis to fester, given the fact that as it is now, we are having a lot of monumental losses. I don't know how the governor of the state intends to present his 2024 appropriation bill of 800 billion. Will he present it to the 4 lawmakers who are left? Because now 27 has defected, 1 has died, and so the faction has only 4 lawmakers with them. So will it be proper, and can you say lawmakers, 4 lawmakers can legislate for the state out of 32? So that's the conundrum. And for those who are saying the seats have been declared vacant, it's only the Speaker of the State House of Assembly, according to Section 109, subsection 2 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as altered. It's only the State Speaker, the State Assembly Speaker, that can write officially to INEC to declare those seats vacant. Will the Ehie faction, constituting just 4 people, be in a position to write the INEC chairman to declare these seats vacant? So it's thrown more questions than answers, but I think this is something that leaders of thought in Rivers State should mediate and allow sleeping dogs to lie. I mean, Wike, the godfather of Rivers politics as of today, said the rift is as a result of the political structure that the governor wants to hijack. So if it takes the mediation of elders, both partisan and non-partisan elders of Rivers State, something should be done quickly before we start losing lives in
Permit me to come in there. Of course, the River State, we know that the House of Assembly has a long history of political crisis, but some observers think this is coming in too early in the administration of Governor Siminalayi Fubara. Do you think so? Do you share this thought?
Very well. I mean, there's no two-way about it. This is an administration that is barely 6 months old, and you are already in a crisis situation like this. So it portends ill wind that blows no good for an administration in its infancy to have this kind of political crisis on its plate. Like I said, it's going to impact on governance. Already, the arson that took place on the State House of Assembly will cost perhaps billions of naira to fix. Recall that on the 30th of October, the dawn of 30th, the State House of Assembly was set on fire by unknown arsonists. So that is already an economic loss. And then you have scenario where there have been allegation of assassination attempt on the AIS group, the speaker of the four-member group. And we don't know what fallout will come in the days to come unless this is quickly checkmated. Then we now have the security agencies allegedly taking sides, and that is not good for the image of the Nigerian police. So the bottom line is that I will still make appeal to leaders of thought, both in APC and PDP, to quell this fire before it consumes our lives. Yes, properties have been lost, time has been lost, but more importantly, it's impacting negatively on governance in the state.
Oh, definitely.
So it's too early in the day to have this kind of crisis on your hand.
All right, Mr. Julio, geopolitical affairs analyst, we thank you for your thoughts on the news at 10.
Today we had the 5th
council meeting of the River State Executive Council, and we deliberated on the medium-term expenditure framework, which is usually a precursor to discussing the budget. Is an act of the River State House of Assembly, law number 8 of 2010, that makes provision for preparation. And that document, an 86-page document, was also presented for consideration, which had the budget estimate. The council deliberated on the budget estimate so presented by the Commissioner for Finance, and concluded that it was a well thought out document, and the budget estimate for 2024 is 800 billion. It was 500 and something in 2023, but because we had a 100 billion supplementary act, which was part of what we used for the ring road, so it moved it from what it ordinarily should have been, considering the inflationary trend, to about 800,000. And this budget is tagged budget of renewed hope, consolidation and continuity. It has 412 as capital, and then 361 as recurrent, with a 21 billion reserve. These were the major deliberations we had today. And on infrastructure is taking the lead with about 128 billion of the budget, and then followed by education, health and security. These are essentially the main focus of this budget.
We have, by the time it gets to the State House of Assembly, the public will be made to see and understand all the projections and the fundamentals. But basically, as the name implies, the essence of the budget is to give the people of River State, the residents of River State, renewed hope, and to ensure that there is a consolidation and continuity in what has been happening, particularly in terms of the harvest of projects we've been having in the state, and of course, other areas, particularly human capital development, security, investment drive in the state, and so on and so forth, ease of doing business, etc. So basically, that is the little addition I feel I should make to what he has said. Thank you.
Et j'invite Monsieur Patrice
I would like
Motsepe
to
de nouveau
invite
à
Dr.
rejoindre sur vos
Patrice
applaudissements
Motsepe to the
la
podium once
tribune
again
pour ce grand moment, ce
reveal
moment fort de l'annonce de la joueuse
winner
de l'année de ses
of
30e CAF Award.
Best Player
We are
of the
going towards
Year
the end, and
award, women's
this
category.
is the most outstanding, the best woman football player on the African continent. She's from the beautiful, beautiful country. You know, I can't see anyone. Asisat Oshuala.
Asisat Oshuala, Best Woman Player of the Year from Nigeria. Congratulations once again. Yes, can we please give her a big round of applause as she's coming up on stage to receive her trophy. She's dressed in her country's colors, the green and white. Congratulations.
Asisat Oshoala, joueuse africaine de
Asisat
l'année,
Oshoala,
qui reçoit son
Women's
trophée des
Player
mains de
of the
Monsieur
Year,
le Président.
who just received the trophy from President Patrice Motsepe.
Good evening, everyone. I'm sorry, I'm nervous. This night, I would love to use this opportunity to thank everyone who's been part of my journey, from grassroots football to national level to club side. Because without you, my coaches, my teammates, there will be no me. Football is a team sport. It's a team game. And I will urge all the federations in Africa to please, please come together. Let's work together and build our continent. Let's make it the best in the world. It is very, very possible. It happened the last World Cup, the Men's World Cup. We saw what happened. We shocked the world. And the last World Cup, all the national team from Africa that represented Africa in Australia, we made history. And I believe before the next World Cup, we can get better. We can do better. And we can win it for sure. Because at the end of the day, if we don't support ourselves, nobody will come down to Africa. Nobody will come to this continent to support us. We have to work together as a team because football is a team sport. Let's start at home and go to the world and conquer it. Thank you very much, and God bless everyone.
And to present the award for the Best Male Football Player of the Year, please welcome once again Dr. Patrice Motsepe. He has tonight the destiny of these three brilliant young men in his hands.
I think we should start by clapping hands for all three. They are the best. They make us proud. They are the best from the continent. Each of them is a winner. And the player of the year for 2023, the most in terms of the votes that has been cast, is also from the beautiful country, Victor Osimhen.
Congratulations to Victor Osimhen, big winner of this year, Player of the Year in the men's category at the 2023 CAF Awards. An exceptional season, a very well-deserved award. Please, Dr. Musebe, please do not leave. We're going to take a bigger picture, please. Victor, let's immortalize this moment, please. Congratulations, and we want to...
Stay with us, stay with us.
Stay with us just for a group picture, family picture. Yes, Victor.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I want to say thank you, God, for everything. Special thanks goes to Mr. Emmanuel Amunike. Without him, I don't think I'll be standing in front of you guys. I don't think I'll be standing in front of you guys holding one of the most prestigious awards in world football. It's a dream come true for me. I want to thank everyone that have seen me through life's journey in achieving my dreams, in achieving my goals. I appreciate Nigerians for their support. I appreciate Africa for putting me on the map, for encouraging me, for defending me, regardless of my shortcomings. Thank you so much. I also thank Emmanuel Adebayo for his encouragement. Solomon Kalu, I appreciate you. Every African legend that I've looked up to while growing up, that have inspired me. Can't forget DJ Drogba, my role model. Thank you so much.